Hi, and welcome back to the Season 1 finale of Royals SMP, my story-based Minecraft server that you can actually join. Royals SMP is about the mystery of the Seven Kingdoms, where you can create a character, join a kingdom, and tell your story live. It's both Java and Bedrock compatible, so anyone can join. I've recently released new Royals SMP sticker sheets with me, Tiny, and all of the rulers. Not only that, but also the Kingdom hoodies have also been turned into t-shirts. You can find any Royals SMP merch all on my merch site. Join my Discord to come join Royals SMP and come watch live on my Twitch. Saturday, April 12th at 2 p.m. CST is the start of the second season of Royals SMP, so get excited!
Emmy, thank the nine hells. Emmy, I've been looking everywhere for you. The books. We need to get the books back to the Desert Kingdom. This is becoming dangerous territory that neither you or I want to cross.
Azza, what are you... I have some bad news about that.
What do you mean by bad news? What could be worse? Possibly not only getting yourself, but the Nether Kingdom and pirates dragged into this mess as well?
The books... they're gone.
What do you mean, gone? Where did they go? Who has them?
I don't know, Azza. I haven't even got a clue who has them.
You had one job, to watch over the books that you stole.
I stole? We stole them together. You helped me.
You had one job, and now the books are missing. The key to fixing this entire mess is missing. You could have just returned the books to the Desert Kingdom, and everything would have been fine.
I can find them. We can just find them, right? We just have to keep looking.
No! Time warned you. I warned you that continuing to look for whatever measly scrap of information about the Caves Kingdom would lead to. I trusted you'd bring something good out of this, but look at the mess you've caused.
And I told you before, if something went south, you can use me. I don't have anything to lose at this point. Nobody depends on me. Nobody's looking out for me. I don't have anyone. You have the Nether Kingdom, and Tiny has the pirates. I'll do what I set out to do, Azza.
Please, just don't bring us into this. For the people's sake.
I'll deal with it. Don't worry. Okay. It's surely right. They've got to be somewhere. No. No. I didn't... I mean, who could have possibly taken them? Who could have... The pirates wouldn't have taken them. The Nether wouldn't have taken them. Never mind. Hooded figure? No one found out that the desert... They had no idea. No one should have known. All I know is... I need to find them. It's just, where do I even start? I'm sure Az is already told...
Is anyone home?
Hello?
Hello? Hi! I'm Grace. I don't think we've probably met before. I am here on behalf of Shy.
Oh.
They wanted to have they needed you, sorry, for, a little thing in the, not the government building. The courtroom, the courthouse, that's what it's called.
Oh, the courthouse?
Yeah, just, they needed you for some information on... I didn't tell me. They just needed you for some information that you might have.
About what?
Some sort of case that they're working on? I'm not really sure.
Oh. Okay. You said Shy can't make it?
Nah, they had some... You know, I'm their assistant. They don't tell me anything. I get told to go grab the laundry, go grab me a latte. But it's some sort of case that they're working on with, oh, who's the other detective?
In which kingdom?
Oh, our kingdom.
I mean, the only one that I really know of, aside from me, is Cal.
Yeah, I think Cal was looking into something, and I think they need your help.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I'm a little busy, but yeah, I can take a moment. How long do you think it'll take?
Real quick.
Okay.
I think they just need to ask you like 4 or 5 questions.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine.
I think it's this way, yeah.
You said... Hold on. What is your job again?
Oh, I'm Shy's assistant.
Shy's assistant. Do you know where we're going?
I think it's... Ooh,
I think this is someone's house.
Oh. There's so many roads. Oh, we're working on naming them, so... It's a little confusing. I don't have the best sense of direction.
I like your horns.
Oh, thank you.
Antlers.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yep. They're supposed to shed them soon.
Oh. Is it like with the different seasons?
Yep.
Well, I could have sworn. I'm pretty certain we've met before, have we not? Oh, this should be it.
Not properly. In passing, yes, probably.
I've heard a lot about you from Chai. But I thought it was more like advisor, counsel type role.
I got promoted
to like a secretary?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. You sure there's a lot of people here?
Yeah, no, it's they all have information about the case. It's a lot of information, lots of people.
Okay.
I think they just need your expertise on this one little thing, and then you're good to go. It's okay.
Where should I sit? Or
right up there, since you are next in line to be asked these 5 questions.
Shouldn't I have like been told what's going on first?
It was a last minute thing.
Last minute, but the whole kingdom? Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Do I have a script, or what are the questions?
Cal has them. Cal?
Hello? Ooh, should be good.
Alright, let's go ahead and start this off. Welcome to those here today. For those who know, and those who don't, I'm Detective Cal of the Plains Kingdom. We're all here today to make the final decision of what will happen. Detective Emilepsi stole the books from the Desert Kingdom. Today, the jury will decide her fate, and Emilepsi will be held accountable for her actions. Now, I have evidence to present. This book holds a conversation between Detective Emilepsi and Leader Azza, with heavy suggestions that point towards Emilepsi having stolen the books, as well as having lost them while planning to return the books to its rightful place. I found this information while walking out of the Plains Council, only to find Emilepsi and Azza outside the detective's house discussing the crime committed. Azza states you had one job. Now the books are missing. The key to finding this whole mess is missing. You could have just returned the books to the Desert Kingdom and everything would have been fine. While Emilepsi replies, I can just find them. We can just find them, right? We'll just keep looking. Now, I have a few questions for Detective Emilepsi here. Detective Emilepsi, did you steal the Desert Kingdom's books?
Yeah. Yes. I did.
Thank you for your admission. How did you go ahead and break into the pyramids in the first place?
Shouldn't I be notified whenever... This isn't how a proper court case is held.
You're avoiding the question, Detective.
What was the question?
How did you go ahead and break into the pyramids in the first place?
I just... I mean, I didn't... I went to the Desert Kingdom to just acquire the history books. Books that should be
Without
open and
permission.
known information.
What was your goal when you broke into the pyramids?
It was just to get the history books. Find any information. It's... The pyramids of the Desert Kingdom. They're the only places in any of the kingdoms that you can be sure that no books have ever been tampered with.
But you broke in, and you could have tampered them.
I didn't. No. No, I didn't mess with any of the books. I just needed the information from them. Any of these books from any of the other kingdoms. It can be false. It can be written information. After it ever even happened. It can be falsified. Edited. The only area that they have not is the pyramids. Yes, I might have broken into them. But there was no other option that I would have gotten the books. I was exiled from the Desert Kingdom. I wasn't even allowed to be there. Yes, that's wrong, I know. But it's history. History should be public knowledge.
So let me get this straight. You were exiled from the Desert Kingdom, so you went in without permission and then stole.
I was gonna give them back.
And then you lost them. Speaking of which, when you went ahead and lost the books, where did you originally hide them?
I didn't lose them. Someone took them. I was going to give them back. I had them. I had them secured. I had them safe.
Do you have any proof someone stole them?
I mean, I have a letter that was left. But that was it.
Okay then. So, next question. How did you come across the knowledge of the book's whereabouts?
And the whole time that I've been here in the kingdoms, I've been trying to gather as much information as I can about the Caves Kingdom. I know. Yes, I can be reckless with it, but this is important information. And every single kingdom has different history to offer. And the only way you can really piece everything together is by getting it all. Every single piece. And putting it together. But I had been at the Nether Kingdom archives with Aza, and they're no way involved. But I was just asking questions, and from their history books, it had talked about that the only kingdom that would have truly non-false information would be the Desert Kingdom in the pyramids. I mean,
So, the Nether books went ahead and gave you information on where the desert book lied.
yes. No one else gave me the information. It was from the Nether Kingdom books, which I had gotten them from Aza. I had asked, and I'd been brought down. I got complete, full permission.
Wait, hold on. So, the Nether ruler gave you access to the desert documents?
No.
Where they are?
No. I got access to the Nether Kingdom archives. Within the books, the history books, that's where it was written out. About the pyramids. That the pyramids, they've been locked away for hundreds of years. No one has had access into them. Meaning it's completely impossible for any of the documents to be falsified, messed with. And
So let me get this straight. The pyramids that have not been accessed in hundreds of years, you decided it was okay for you to go in there willy-nilly.
I mean, I didn't go in there willy-nilly. I just went in there to get the books, any information, important information that I could find that had been hidden for hundreds of years. Unknown information. So close to the source.
So, I have a question. Did anyone help you to go ahead and break into those pyramids?
No. No one helped me. No. It was at the press conference when all the kingdom representatives, they were talking about their kingdoms, and I learned that the Desert Kingdom had been going through renovations and were largely understaffed, and there wasn't a lot of protection going on in the kingdoms, and that would be the best time. But no, I did it alone. There was
Okay.
no one else.
Going back to your last answer, when you went ahead and said you were looking for information, were you looking for any specific information?
Anything I could find. From what I learned from the Nether Kingdom archives, the books from the previous rulers, history of the people in the Nether, there was so much that had been left, that hadn't been reached, hadn't been answered. And the only The Desert Kingdom was the only place that I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get the books by just asking. You know, I would have rather asked for forgiveness than ask for permission. I would not have gotten permission.
So let me go ahead and make sure I got this right. You broke in to a place you were exiled, and you went ahead and looked for information that you weren't guaranteed to find. You weren't looking for anything. You broke in for possible information, something that'd be useful.
Not... I knew there would be something important. I did find important information. I did. I had brought the books back to my home to examine them, to gather all the information, because I would not have been able to do that while I was there. I needed the time to sit down with the books, to examine them, fully read them, and go through all of the writing. But they were taken before I could truly do that. Yes.
Did anyone else have knowledge on where you placed the books?
No. No. No one had knowledge. No. I was going to give them back. I don't have them anymore.
Thank you for your time. You may head down for now. Could Leanna Koval come up to the witness stand and state their witness case and information?
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, listen well. I am Countess Koval, but today I stand simply as Lyanna, a loyal subject of the Plains Kingdom, and I speak not just as myself, but for every kingdom that has suffered at the hands of a single, unrelenting outsider. From the moment Emilepsi arrived in our lands, she has done nothing but sow disorder, disrespect, and destruction. She moves from kingdom to kingdom like a parasite, feeding off secrets that are not hers to claim, inserting herself into affairs that she has no right to meddle in. She is not one of us. She has no honor, only a dangerous obsession that has now led to outright theft. This is not just a crime. It is a blatant violation of every ruler, every law, every foundation our kingdoms stand upon. Emilepsi was cast out once before, yet she defied her punishment, proving that mere exile is not enough to contain her. How many more chances must we give her? How many more of our lands must suffer before we finally put an end to her games? Make no mistake, this is an act of hostility. She has acted against our sovereignty, and yet we are expected to sit here and determine whether or not she deserves mercy? No. I say we end this now. She is not one of us, and she never will be. She has no place among our people, no place in our lands, and no right to walk free. Exile is not a punishment for her. It is a privilege, one that she has already squandered. So let us make it final. Strip her of every last connection to our societies. No allies, no refuge, and no home. And let her to be remembered as only a warning. We must make an example of her. And if she ever dares to return, then she shall not be given the chance to leave again. Thank you.
Orion Lunaris, please come to the witness stand and state your information and witness case.
Your Honor, Your Honor, honorable members of the tribunal and honored dignitaries, I, Ryan Meriden, Lunaris of Woodglen, stand before you all as not only a representative of the Snow Kingdom, but as a witness that the detective Emilepsi has initiated against multiple individuals. I would like to start off by saying that the detective intentions are undeniably noble and selfless in nature. If a bit impulsive and governed by curiosity, her determination and desire for knowledge is both admirable and something to be applauded. However, the manner at which she has chosen to react had been nothing but short of troublesome, if not downright illegal. She has indeed had multiple cases of trespassing by entering restricted areas with no prior authorization, something that she had both been forgiven and persecuted for in the past. On a particular note, it was such actions that resulted in her being banished from the Desert Kingdom. An order that was given out by the ruler of the desert, and one that was later on breached by the present detective at trial. This violation of the still active exile order was not the only crime committed that day. No. It was done so in order to commit another crime, one much graver. This time it was a theft. And not a mere theft at that, no, but the unlawful entry and subsequent bulgery of books that held knowledge far beyond the years. A historical artifact that belonged solely at the hands of its kingdom of origin, and she had no right of having it within her hands. And that, after all, that's what the law said. That's what the law of artifact protection that I have no doubt exists in the kingdoms. Hence more, during her quest of justice and mystery, despite treating others with kindness, Detective Emilepsi has lacked proper decorum and diplomacy when addressing people of kingdoms she was but a mere guest at, even hosting an investigation and falsely accusing people of crimes they did not commit, one of whom being the ruler of said kingdom. And while I do sympathize with not being a native to the kingdoms, it is not an excuse for ignorance or impulsiveness. One might even argue that being forgiven for such conduct could be the end of the discussion, but I believe otherwise, especially when the offending party's misconduct has only gotten more severe with time. I fear what would happen should they be left to act as they please with no consequence. Thus, I plead with you one last time, honorable jury, to make the right decision. The one that will bring justice to the people I represent, and the one that will aid the detective into finding a path away from her misguided sense of justice. Give the people the right to make the choice. The ones who were wrong, stolen from, should be the one who to decide the detective's fate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. You may head back to your seating. Elia Wyvern, please come to the witness stand and state your information and witness case.
Hello, my name is Elio Wyvern. I am the current and only ruler. I'm the current and only warden of the Nether Kingdom, and here to say my piece of Emilepsi's trial. As a Nether Kingdom citizen and someone who has lived through the Empire's rule, history is something deeply important to me. It is central to all kingdoms to share their past and let their people know previous mistakes made so they are prevented in the future. This is why I believe Emilepsi's original goal was an admirable one. She collected history that was hidden away, but these books weren't released to the public. Instead, they were hidden in a new tomb, one below her house, and only for their eyes. This is despicable. To steal books from a kingdom not of your origin and hoard them for yourself is the worst possible choice. Knowledge is the most important resource. Emilepsi's carelessness had threatened it. Should she at least attempted to resolve conflict through speech, copied the books, or do literally anything else and steal these precious artifacts, books may not seem important to most. But you must keep in mind that this is what held the lives of so many people. These stories were taken and stored away, never to see the light. But, with that all being said, I must admit that her attempts and ultimate collection of every kingdom is impressive. To have an understanding of every past of every one of our core lands is something that almost no person can say. The fact that by herself she managed to steal from the Desert Kingdom and return with the books perfectly intact tells me that she respects history, even if they are now lost. I cannot tell Emilepsi's motives, but I can tell that she cares a hell of a lot about history to risk their lives and go about gathering each and every one. As for verdict, I am undecided. One hand tells me that she stole knowledge out of greed and another out of appreciation. As the trial goes on, I will come to my decision and act accordingly. Thank you for your time.
Before you head down from the stand, I have a question. Do you believe that Detective Emilepsi has invaded your space and privacy without a warrant, may I add?
As someone outside the Desert Kingdom, no, I do not believe so. But,
Thank you. You may head down.
yes, goodbye.
Val Cathros, please come up to the witness stand and state your information and witness case.
Hello, everyone. I am Val. I am from the Sky Kingdom. The royal advisor. I don't do much public speaking, so apologize in advance. I believe the detective is somewhat innocent. As bad as the crime may seem, they do have a point. As the others may have said, the detective has been kind to everybody. You know, despite not being from this world, like our lands. But neither am I. So, um, um, apologies in advance, but you could have just misheard them. They could have been talking about something else, or I don't know. Are we really gonna believe, words from mouth? In this case, um, when has accusing people of horrid crimes ever ended up good for any of us? You know, I wasn't here during the war. I'm too young to really know the war, so I don't know really what happened. Um,
Oh god.
um, maybe we shouldn't. Um, I don't know. But
Is that all?
I just don't think that a harsh punishment should be handed like this, or really the case. Spring this on so surprisingly isn't ethical. Saying that you hate someone because they're not from your kingdom isn't that's not ethical. That's not kind. That's not anything. That's just hatred. And when has hatred ever, turned out morally correct for any of us? Really. It's just maybe we should think about how we feel about others that aren't from our kingdom before saying anything. It's not goodwill. That's all.
Thank you. You may head back to your seating. Lucius Alto, please come up to the witness stand, state your information and your witness case.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucius, and I have the honor of working for the Royal Post. I dedicate myself in every story of ordinary people, striving to understand their truths and perspectives. I believe that every story deserves to be told with fairness. Today, I will share my thoughts on the current case, ensuring I recognize the faults and help of the defendant. Honestly, I really believe that Emilepsi isn't guilty. It's so important that our citizens can access the information that is crucial for our kingdom's well-being. Honestly, Emilepsi was just curious. Her intentions were never meant to harm anyone. She truly wanted to help our community. Without more solid evidence against her, this will only lead to more harmful rumors and create even deeper divisions among us. I can't help but think that instead of pushing her to get exiled or pushing her harshly, we should be trying to be transparent and understanding. History has shown us that keeping information hidden does nothing but create mistrust and chaos in the kingdoms. If we want to protect our future, we need to start embracing open communication. I know people may not like my opinion. However, I don't want someone's honest mistake to cause tension between kingdoms. I would hate to be shamed when I go to visit my friend. Maybe it's time to rethink how we share knowledge so that voices like Emilepsi are seen as contributions to our collective prosperity, not threats. Just hope we can come together on this and see the bigger picture. Thank you.
Thank you. You may head back to your seat. Nathaniel Flambe, please come to the witness stand and state your information and witness case.
All right. I'm sure some of you guys would expect me to come up here with a beautifully written script to read off of so all of you know my points and reasons. But I'm not a poet. I am Nathaniel Flambe, Commander-in-Chief of the Plains Kingdom. I'm not here to talk pretty or, well, do anything of that sort. We have very simple matters here. Yes, I'm not going to deny we have proof that Emmy has caused some crime and disrest. But I cannot see any motive behind it that is hostile. Everything that I look at, no matter where it is or how it's told to me, is extremely biased. And you expect everyone here to just come up with a very simple explanation for it. No. She did something wrong. She needs to be punished for it. But capital punishment, banishment, exile, things like these don't work forever. They don't. Doesn't matter what happens. It's not a permanent solution. I am all for it that Emmy should not be let go, but she should be given something. I believe that she had just reason to do this, but punishment still comes. I'm for Emmy's side and that we be lenient on this. If not for that reason, then take it as an old man's bargaining, shall you? That's all I have to say.
Thank you. You may head back to your seating. Cross Regali, please come up to the witness stand and state your information and witness case.
Oh, this is all too familiar. Hi. As you know, I am the Water Kingdom ruler. And Emmy has helped us out in the past. She's solved a murder for us. Although put me on trial doing it. She did her best. She used what resources she had and did what she could. Even if that meant putting me on trial, which that's understandable. You know, I kind of am a siren of sorts. But she was doing her best for the kingdoms. Even if, you know, it required stealing some books, which, Ethan, you hid away from us. She's trying to solve this situation for all of us. I think a lighter punishment should be applicable in this situation. No? Kicking her out with all the information that she has now? I've given her everything that I had in accordance to solving whatever is happening within our kingdoms. I think this needs more time to sit on. This needs not something harsh. Again, she's already solved one murder. It's a murder. This instance of breaking our kingdom rules was for the greater good. All I have to say.
Thank you. You may head back down to your seating. Isabel Solis, please come up to the witness stand and state your information and your witness case.
Why is Asa going up? Why is Asa going up? To the people of all the kingdoms. Before I was known as Nether Ruler, before anything, I was the archivist. I was an historian. I was someone who dedicated my life, quite literally, to the books, to every history, every tale, everything that came from people. And I do admit that Emmy did come to me to ask for the books from the Nether Archives. More specifically, about the books relating to the Caves Kingdom. And as we all know, I'm sure some of us remember the war with the Caves Kingdom. While I wasn't there for the war, I think the stories that I've heard, the feelings, the raw emotions, the deaths, the lives lost, families broken, the fact that one single kingdom caused so much destruction through all the kingdoms. And while I understand that finding the information about the caves, that finding this information is important, I don't think our detective here thought about the consequences of going too far. I think, as of recently, I'm not pointing this to anyone, we all take actions that we don't realize the consequences of. We all, at times, may do stuff that we don't realize has great ramifications. I apologize to the Desert Ruler for allowing the detective here, well, perhaps not allowing, but perhaps giving the information for the detective here to break into your pyramids. I truthfully did not want this to happen, and I will admit the reason why I knew the detective had the books in the first place was because
Detective Emilepsi came to me after the heist to steal the books. They were hoping to use my expertise as an archivist to look into the books further to see if they had any sort of more information, anything besides what was on the cover. You know, as archivist, I had years finding little secrets, little stories, perhaps the hidden page or two in said books. And at the time Emmy when Emmy brought those books to me, I was not aware those books were stolen. Perhaps it was in my naivety that I believed that an exiled person from the desert was offered a mercy and given the greatest honor of taking the books from the desert for their own research, for finding whatever they had about the caves. And perhaps that was my foolish mistake to believe in Emmy, to believe that perhaps what she's doing could bring greater unity to all the kingdoms, could bring us closer. For years, we've all had our tensions, our moments, our times where we perhaps want to stab each other, want to go at each other's throats, want to harm each other. But even then, we all come together. We've all worked together. And now I'm in this position of power. I've been granted this honor by my people to lead our kingdom. Now I realize that perhaps I was too naive. Perhaps I let hope, let this naive, childish dream that perhaps someone would have chosen the right decisions and brought us all even more together. But yet, here we are, divided. Here we are arguing against the fate of a person, how we're mentioning things. Do I believe that information should be free, should be, do I believe that information about the caves should be known to the whole kingdoms? I do. But is there a right way to go about this? Yes. And the detective here go about this the right way? I think not. I hope that whatever decision the kingdoms will make about what to do with the fate of this detective will be the right decision. And I hope that whatever happens, whatever does happen, the detective will be able to find what she's looking for in the end. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. You may head back down to your seating. Emilepsi, come up and present your rebuttal.
Okay. 1 second. I understand that during my time here, I've made some not so good decisions. Yes, I was originally exiled from the Desert Kingdom. However, that's not exactly the case. The reason as to why. Okay. I had just been removed from my original kingdom. Yes, I'm not from here. I had just been removed from my original kingdom, cast off, everything taken from me. Yes, I might be an outsider. Yes, but that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. And I don't understand why. Yes, I am not from here. But it feels like I'm honestly the only one who cares about all the people who are from here. I'm putting my life on the line to figure out information and piece together everything for a kingdom I'm not even a part of. I've spent my life researching these kingdoms, researching the Caves Kingdom, only to have everything taken away from me. There's a reason. There's a reason that I'm doing that. I thought maybe that there was some connection to the disappearance of my family members. I thought maybe I'd be able to find something, and I got lost. I don't know, I got exiled from my original kingdom. I crash-landed on the shores of the Desert Kingdom. Hello, Raiders, we are doing lore. Oh god. I crash-landed on the shores of the Desert Kingdom, yes. And I saw something I was just following to find out what it was. And it just so happened that it went inside of the pyramids. I didn't touch anything. It wasn't even looked after. No one looked into the pyramids after I was in there. And if they would have seen that nothing was gone. It was just bad timing. And I was found and taken to Ethan, the ruler of the Desert Kingdom, by the Golden Pirate. Mind you, the Golden Pirate, who we then found stealing from the Water Kingdom. I am not the one who wishes to cause harm. Yes, my curiosity gets the better of me, yes. But how can it not? How can it not? I was exiled from the Desert Kingdom, but on unjust terms. And I know it still might believe that I did do that. But there was no proof. I did not even get a say. And I had everything again taken from me. Cast to the Plains Kingdom. Graciously welcomed by Shai, the Plains Kingdom leader. Yes. And yes, I did accuse Cross. I did. How can I not? We're forgetting the whole premise of the trial. Everything must be looked into, not a single lead forgotten. I was merely doing my job. I was merely doing what I was tasked by the same exact person who tasked me to solve the mystery, to solve the murder. We're forgetting the fact that the only people who had access to the catacombs was Cross and Magus. How can that lead be left untouched? Yes, it was found that it wasn't cross. Yes. And I know that. Yes. It was proven so that it was not cross. Proven innocent. That is how a proper trial takes place. Yes. I stole the books. Yes. But since when should history be locked away? As said before, history should be public knowledge. Yes. I took it. Yes, I broke into the pyramids. Yes. I went against the terms of being exiled. But for the greater good of the kingdoms that I'm not even a part of. History. If we continue to hide it, if we continue to keep it hidden and not let it be public, what's to say that it won't repeat itself? It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's incredibly, incredibly dangerous to hide history. It is incredibly dangerous. There are steps that are being taken right now that are so incredibly dangerous to the safety of these kingdoms, to the safety of the people. Protecting the people, for God's sake. You're just hiding them from what's bound to happen. I was the only one who stole those books. Yes, I went to Azza. I went to Azza as an archivist to help decode them. Okay? It was not my intention to have them stolen. Okay? Someone took them. I was going to return them right after. That was important information. The last connectors to everything. I know. Yes. Once again, I am an outsider. Why should I be meddling in the affairs of kingdoms that I have nothing to do with? But God forbid that this measly outsider is the only one who cares enough to put her life on the line. Are there any further questions?
No, you may head back down. Now that we've heard everyone's side, let me pass this over to the judges and the people to cast their vote. Everyone gets one vote.
Before I start this off, I would like to say thank you for everyone coming here, especially on such short notice. I think it's important for all of us to come together and talk about issues like this, and the fact that everyone here has shown up today really goes to show how much, even though we are all from different kingdoms, how connected we are. With that being said, by the order of the people of all 6 of the mainland kingdoms, Emmy Archeron, you are banished from the kingdoms of the plains, the snow, the sky, the desert, the water, and the nether. You are to never enter these lands again, or else you shall face the consequences. Alright, Tiny and the pirates, please escort Emmy away from the mainland kingdoms so she will never set foot on our lands again.
Alright, guys. Come on, let's go.
This is a mistake!
I think you're to be coming with us.
This is a mistake.
We're on a schedule.
You don't get it. You don't get it. And you'll never get it.
I am sorry if this is not the outcome you wish for, but this is no longer in your hands. Or mine.
You're making...
Now it's in ours.
You're making a mistake! Don't do this. Don't.
I think it's already been done. Alright, pack it up, ears and tears. Let's go. Come on, roll out.
You could still reverse it. You're making a mistake! You don't know what's coming. You haven't understood. You won't understand.
I think it's time to go.
The Caves Kingdom is still there. It's still out there. They're still they're very much alive. They've been seen. Just don't.
Alright, kick rocks, come on. We don't have all day. The food's getting cold.
Just keep the people safe. They're not gonna stop at anything.
Quite the little performance, huh?
It's not a performance.
I mean, there was a stage, there was a bunch of people. Close enough.
I could... Sure, y'all probably could care less.
I mean, it's
Being
not,
part of the
we're not in the
pirates.
kingdoms. It's not any of our business. We're kind of exiled by our own choice. I'd hate to make this a joke, but you kind of royally screwed up. You know, get it? You're not all in the kingdoms anymore, royal?
Yes,
I thought it was funny, yeah.
I get it.
Alright, everyone on. Well, not everyone, I mean the pirates. You want close enough?
Where is this going?
I don't know that yet. You're kind of limited in your allowed to be places. Do you have any ideas, any place you want to go? Anywhere you aren't banned from, preferably? Which is not a lot of places.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the water is pretty open. I say we just go until we find some land. That sound fine with you, detective?
Yes, that's fine.
Alright. Well, you're gonna be coming down here.
Why can't I just stay up here?
Well, you're a fugitive. I don't want you messing with my people. You've messed with a couple other people.
Well,
So, kick rocks, get in. After you.
are we serious right now?
Ladies first. Hey, you mess with all the kingdoms. I don't know what you're gonna do to my ship. The detective to whatever this is. Have fun down there. All right, someone get the helm. Let's go. Pack it up.
Where are we going? How long is it gonna take?
Um,
Can I at least
we're
go get all
going
my
to
stuff?
wherever the water takes us. You can keep your stuff. That doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's probably other people's stuff with your past, but we're going somewhere. I don't know where yet. You're gonna find that out whenever you're dropped off.
What?
You don't really have a choice, though. I mean, do you have a kingdom you want to go to? You're kind of banned from all of them.
No, just take me somewhere far away from here.
That's probably the only place you can go. That's a good idea. Let's go, guys.